going to do a short little live stream. This isn't a big topic one. This is just about body hair. Okay. And I don't want to go into depth, and I'm not going to show pictures, and this is not X-rated the way that some people that comment think, because you know what? If you can't write a PG comment on the YouTubes, you're going into spam land, because that's not even my decision. YouTube is monitoring that now. So like some people, they come to YouTube and they think, oh, I can just write whatever I want. Yeah. Well, YouTube is monitoring things like that. You can't just write whatever you want. So this is going to be a PG version of this topic, okay? Just disclaimer for anybody who thinks this is something real exciting. It might be exciting to some degree, I guess, but this is going to be my take on the topic. Okay, so I keep seeing these videos, and this topic has been in the interwebs and online trending for some time now. And look, I like body positivity, but I disagree with some definitions of what exactly is body positivity. I agree that body positivity can be just feeling good about how you decide to look. That is positive. But, okay, when one group of people start to say, well, shaving your body hair is just crazy or stupid, or it's not loving yourself, I'm like, that's kind of culturally insensitive as well, because there are some cultures where people, they remove body hair, like Middle Eastern culture. And by the way, if you're part Middle Eastern, you have more body hair. And I love the hair on my head, but I'm sorry if as a woman, me shaving my legs, okay? Me shaving under my arms or removing hair from my legs means I'm not body positive. You're a dictator. That's it. Okay. So I see a video pop up on the feed saying it's crazy that women should have to shave their armpits. I'm going to go out and show you my armpit. And you know what? There's some truth to that. There's some truth to that to some degree. Yes, women didn't used to always shave their armpits, but in some cultures they did. Some cultures they didn't. And maybe some people just feel better, men included, when they shave like their chest. Like some people, like they remove all the body hair except for the hair on their head. And that's fine. I think, you know what? You become a dictator on the other side of the spectrum when you start saying, oh, all body hair is acceptable and nobody has to remove their body hair. Like, why don't you just say, you know what? I like my body hair and I choose to keep it. Well, maybe aesthetically some people don't like underarm hair and they don't have to have it. And you can harken back to some, I don't know, like paleo thing, like, oh, well, back in paleo times, people needed their underarm hair and other types of hair that's not on their head for certain functions. And I'm like, you can say that, but if somebody decides that they want to wax it, shave it, and they don't want body hair that's not on their head, that's kind of their own thing. I feel like if we're truly body positive, we're going to say, I personally don't want to shave my underarms, and I personally don't want to shave my chest or my legs. Like, you could just make it about you. Don't make it like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so body positive because look at me, I don't shave under my arms. Well, honestly, I'm going to keep shaving under my arms, and honestly, being part Middle Eastern, you do have more body hair, because I remember even, like, my mom was, like, shocked, like, oh, like when I was 11, I looked like I had hair on my face. She goes, wow, we need to get rid of that. And yeah, I guess there's still some stigma, but okay, it's not a big deal. If people want to shave under their arms or they want to remove body hair, they have a right to do that just as much as you have a right to not do that. And it's kind of the same thing with makeup. Like, I personally, I don't wear makeup. I don't care for it, but I don't feel like the patriarchy is telling me that I have to wear makeup. I just don't want to wear it, okay? So then we have the other side of the spectrum where I've seen guys that are just nice. They're just being like supportive guys, and they'll say things like, they'll say, oh, I think women are pretty, they don't have to put so much makeup on their face, and then I'll see women tear them down in the comments of a video and be like, oh my god, don't you tell me what to put on my face, that is sexist. And the guy was actually just being a nice person and saying that they didn't think women had to over paint their face. And you know what, if you want to do that whole Kim Kardashian full face makeup thing and the all that, that's up to you. I don't really care. If you don't want to wear makeup, I don't care. I personally think if you want to be body positive, you're going to say, this is what I do for me because this feels good for me. But I'm not going to make it all about, oh, like so and so's body positive, but so and so's not. I would just preface it as being, I'm doing this because this is what makes me feel comfortable. And this is how I view the world. And I think that's one of the disconnects we have where people, they take this big stance on something and they're like, well, if you do this, you must feel this way. And maybe some people just at the end of the day, like they are happy with themselves, but they want to shave under their arms. I don't think it's a big deal, okay? If you think it's a big deal, then don't do it. Don't shave under your arms. But just own it and be like, this is what makes me feel empowered. But I'm not going to say, oh, if somebody does this, that they're not empowered. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's projection, really. And I feel like it gets so out of hand. Like, no, nobody ever said you had to wear makeup, but on the other hand, or like shave your legs. On the other end of the spectrum, I would see when I was a kid, other girls make fun of girls because they didn't do these things. So yeah, it wasn't always just men who would be pushing this kind of stuff. So anyway, that's my take on that. Every time I see something trendy, I'm like, is it really like that big of a deal? Why don't you just do what feels good for you and stop saying it's all about patriarchy? And another thing too, matriarchy and patriarchy both have a place in this world. People are people. We're not all about like we're against this and we're for that. I feel like we have such a divided world on both ends of the spectrum. So I'm like, yeah, I don't follow into this group, like these group thought processes, but that's just my take on it. You do you. If how you feel about something makes you feel good, then you own that, okay? That's all I have to say. Those are my thoughts on a video I saw trending.